I got a question for Sean.
Go ahead, Herb.
Sean, does arm length matter?
It absolutely does. It absolutely does.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, we're screwed.
Yeah,
Cole
screwed.
Bishop sucks and Cedric Van Granger sucks then.
This is a Kmart production brought to you by Dudzik Chiropractic and MJB Electric.
Listeners' discretion is advised. ZaBillsPodcast.
Welcome to ZaBillsPodcast. If this is your first time, we discuss the Bills games while we review two different Buffalo pizzas. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the big show.
Welcome back, everybody. It has been way too long for ZaBills Podcast. Hope you've been enjoying the interviews with the Bills backers chapter presidents. We're having a lot of fun meeting great Bills fans and great hosts, and it's very interesting that a large world but a small world, and when you're connected by one thread of the Buffalo Bills, it is very cool. We've met a guy who graduated with someone on our podcast. We met a guy, you should be hearing the episode very soon, who grew up on the other end of my street. I'll give that spoiler alert. That episode will be coming out next week. So anyways, we're going to discuss the Bills draft results, how we think they did, and talk about a couple guys, and might call a couple of the podcast guys who couldn't make it tonight. But tonight, to my left, Dennis, welcome back, my friend.
How we doing?
It's a little weird. It feels like we haven't podcasted in like months.
Yeah, it is a little weird. I'm sitting here. I'm kind of nervous trying to get all my notes together and all that stuff.
Yeah, we're like scrambling around. Mike, also welcome back to the studio.
Yeah, I'm not nervous. I've been pre-gaming for 2 hours. No,
You weren't sleeping on the couch 10 minutes ago?
No, I definitely was.
Yeah. Okay. And everybody's favorite heckler, Herb. How you doing, man?
Hell yeah, man. This is my time of the year. I live for the draft.
Yeah?
Live for it.
Okay. And you were telling us pre-recording something about your fantasy lottery stuff.
Oh yeah, we do our fantasy draft lotteries each day 1 and day 2 of the draft. A lot of action going on there. So
let me take a guess. You guys just picked the order of when you guys are actually going to draft, with the order of the drafting?
Yeah, just the non-playoff teams. They're both dynasty leagues now, so it's exciting times.
How many years of dynasty?
Too many to count. The one I think we did our quinceañera party last year.
Wait,
that was
did you
15.
say quinceañera?
That's 15, right?
Yeah, we all wore crowns.
You guys were celebrating your 15th year? I'm trying to think how many years. I don't play regularly anymore. I wish we should do a podcast league.
I was just going to say that we should.
No.
I'm horrible at fantasy anything.
That's just fun.
Yeah.
Just fun. Okay, so 15 years.
Yeah, and
Same guys, or you guys like boot one out and then another one comes in? And it's like a relegation.
it's most the same guys. Some guys come and go. There's some arguments over no. Some guys leave on bad terms. A few have over the years, but yeah, most of the same guys.
I was going to bring up hockey just because it's the Stanley Cup playoffs, but we could save that for Sean. I mean, just quickly, I'm surprised that the Hurricanes didn't end that in 4, and Bruins. They're keeping the door open here.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. That's why Sean's not here tonight.
Definitely.
Well, we'll ask him. We'll ask him. So, all right, folks, we're gonna save you the pizza. Or sorry, we don't have the pizza tonight. It's kind of a last minute recording. So, okay. So, Herb, since you came down here beaming, unless there's any other thing that anyone wants to bring up, no. Okay, we'll move on. Herb, you came in super excited about this. Why don't you? Oh, you know what? Before I say that, all I'll say first before we get into this is I was upset for 2 things. One, I stayed up till 12:45 in the morning to watch them trade twice.
Yeah.
And the first trade was with the Chiefs. Just because it was the Chiefs. For no other reason, just because it was the Chiefs. It was like dancing with the devil.
That's what pissed me off, too.
Yeah, I hear you. By the way, shout out to Mike. Thank you for hosting a draft party.
Yeah, no problem. It's a good time.
Job.
Yes, it was.
Nice.
Thank you so much. Okay, Herb, why don't you kick us off? Tell us, why don't you run through the picks? We got it up on the big board here. Why don't you go through if you got any quick information or a biopsy or a biography on these guys, a biopsy. I hope not. Hope not. Sorry.
Part of the physical now? Or?
Yeah.
I'm not that close with them.
Okay. So Bills originally
had.
had pick number 28. They traded it to the Chiefs.
Yep.
They upgraded their 4th round or 5th round or both?
4th to a 3rd and like a 7th to a 6th, I think.
Okay. And
Something like that.
then they get the Chiefs pick and they trade that to the Panthers.
That was we had a 6th turned into a 5th for that one.
Yeah, so that was 32 to the 33rd pick, so it didn't really make a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
How do folks out there listening, the 4 of you, what did you think about them trading with the Chiefs? I couldn't believe it. And then are you really shocked with the Panthers, with the McDermott-Bean relationship? I mean, that probably worked out, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
I think Bean already went ahead and talked about how he knows Dan Morgan, the GM down there, and he called him right away about switching, and because their guy was still on the board, so it worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got all night. You're just sitting there. That they were probably talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done talking, Herb. Why don't you take us off, go through the draft class?
All right. So do you want me to go through the picks? Let's do it.
It's on
All
the
right.
board. Let's tell everybody in case they're not familiar.
Round 2, pick 33, we took Keon Coleman. We could get into that. Not the receiver I would have picked, but I'm excited about him regardless. He should be our big X receiver. 6'3", 213 pounds, I believe.
Why is he the guy that you would not have wanted?
Well, I would
no speed.
Personally, I would have taken Ladd McConkey. I think he's going to catch a lot more passes. I think he's a better, more reliable target right away. But I think they wanted size there. I think Keon's more of a contested catch guy.
Okay.
He's not a speed guy, but I think they were looking for something specific at that spot there.
Okay. So I did hear a rumor yesterday. I won't state my source, Skip, but he said he was at a place and there was a guy there and they were talking about how some people were talking about how Justin Jefferson could be something in the works.
I seriously doubt that, only because all I've been reading the past 24 hours is how Minnesota is close to an extension with him.
All right. I guess we'll find out how good that source is, Skip.
But the other thing, too, is a lot of times stuff will, and I quote, leak into the media to help sweeten the deal, because now the other team, being Buffalo in this case, would be like, wait, are you talking extension? Can we get this done a little quicker? Can we sweeten the deal? So it could be that, too. Who knows?
Okay. All right. Well, are you mad that the Chiefs ended up picking Worthy?
So, well, first, your Justin Jefferson thing.
Yeah.
I think the Bills do have a lot. They kind of open the doors for next year, at least, to pick up a big-time receiver in terms of draft picks and cap space.
Yeah.
I think it's there.
For this season?
I don't know. It would have to be after June 1st when the Trey money kicks in, but I don't even think that's enough to pick up like a Higgins or an Ayuk or Jefferson. I don't think they have that kind of money.
Why were they throwing around Debo's name?
That's another one.
I would take him over most of them. Or
Again,
is it
I don't know
because
if
he's
they
injury
have
prone?
Debo money, but I don't know what his cap hit would be.
Oh,
but
Debo and Josh Allen and Cook.
it makes some sense. That would make a lot of sense there.
Yeah. Okay. Next guy. Unless we're not done. Anyone else
No.
got a thought on this guy? Other than he's hysterical?
He's freaking hysterical. Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like a character. I think he's going to be a great fit with Josh, personality-wise.
He's a beast, like you said, contested catches, and he's a comedic genius. He's
Yeah,
fine.
he catches everything, it looks like, from everything I've seen. So
Shops at Macy's.
Yes. I saw that. Okay.
One thing I liked about him, he outproduced Jaden Reed, who was a second-round pick last year and had a very productive rookie season, both at Michigan State when Keon was 19 years old and Jaden was 22. He outproduced Keon outproduced Jaden Reed. And,
That's
and
right, because
Jaden Reed
Keon was
a very
at Michigan
productive
State
rookie.
and then he transferred to Florida State.
Yep,
How many years was he at Florida State? Just one?
just one.
Yep. Okay.
And he was only 3 years in college. He's still only 20 years old, so
Yeah.
he's got a lot of upside.
Okay.
He scored 11 touchdowns last year, right? Didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. Dennis?
we want me to move on to Cole Bishop, the safety.
Oh, sure. We could go round robin. Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you know about him?
So I don't know a whole lot, to be honest.
Okay, great.
But,
Thanks for your research.
He seems to miss some tackles from what I've saw.
Oh, God.
So I'm not too happy with that. It seems like he's a very smart player, and he kind of the instincts are good, and so I think that's good. But I think he's got to work on his tackling a little bit.
He came to the right team.
But I also he did.
He came to the right team.
I also feel like him facing Dalton Kincaid, because they were together in college, would really help with him covering the tight ends, who we have trouble covering all the time.
You know what I just realized is how much nicer is it for a rookie to come in to a team that has a teammate on the team already?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, and then trying to look here. Did we have anybody else from any of these other schools? No. Okay, continue.
Did any of our other guys play for England?
Yes, Wade did. Wade.
Yeah.
Wade. Okay. So we all right, anybody else got anything on that guy?
So
What?
Dennis, you know how you and I, we usually see eye to eye on most things. I disagree with you on Cole. Ever since these draft picks come in, and I'll readily admit that I don't know that there's any of them on here that I was like, okay, I know him. I know. So I go back and in hindsight, do all the YouTubing and all that. And I watched a ton of highlights on Cole Bishop. The dude is fast. He gets in the backfield, sacks, negative yardage tackles. He's not huge. He's a big boy, but he's not huge.
Yeah.
He's not going to lay out like a truck, but he'll track you down. And I didn't see a whole lot of missed tackles. Now, mind you, I'm watching highlights. I'm not watching everything, but I was impressed. And I'm like, okay, this could work, so.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, I don't know a ton, but from what a little bit I saw a few missed tackles. Maybe I was being a little harsh, but
I think for the first time since I met you, I hope you're wrong.
there you go. It happened once or twice.
All right.
I'll say this on Cole. Really good athlete. I think he's got good size. One of the reasons he might have fallen, he's got super short arms, T-Rex arms, they might say.
Ooh, alligator arms.
But good blitzer, too.
Okay.
He can get after the QB.
All right, so he'll be the Poyer guy, huh?
Yeah, it sounds
That's
like
kind of what they're selling it as, yeah.
Yeah.
How about a guy that can
replacement?
fly to the ball and just make tackles? That's what I would like, right?
I would take that.
All right, Mike, round 3, pick 95.
Another one that I had no idea who this guy was prior to the draft, so I went and I looked post us picking him, and he's got some speed. He's a good. He'll be a good. I won't call him an edge rusher because technically he's a tackle, but a lot of the highlights I saw, he's coming from the outside and he's blasting through the offensive line. So he's a big, strong boy, and I'm hoping that translates. When you put him out there with Ed Oliver and that together, I think it'll have a pretty decent impact and a decent impact on Ed Oliver's game. He elevated last year. If we get a guy like this, maybe they double team Oliver and that sucks, but then this guy can, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that they can complement each other as long as they're out there together. I'm not sure he'll be a starter, though.
All right, folks, we're talking about Dwayne Carter, defensive tackle from Duke.
Sorry, should have said that first.
He also has a C on his jersey.
Yeah.
So that's good for a leadership standpoint.
For 3 years in a row, which is unheard of for Duke.
Right.
So
Yeah.
You know what else is unheard of is good football from Duke in the last couple of years is turned around. So that's good to see.
And forgive me, I don't remember if it was when we were recording or prior, but Herb, you said that they drafted a lot of character guys, and that shows you right there, a 3-year captain at Duke, right?
Yeah, I think he had a really impressive interview. A lot of these guys did. I think the Bills, with all the veterans they lost in the offseason and had to release and had to get the cap correct moving forward, I think they really focused on character here. Dwayne Carter, Graham Barton went in the first round from Duke, and they asked him about leadership and his leadership qualities, and he said, we had one leader on this team, and his name was Dwayne Carter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Herb, round 4, pick 128.
Ray Davis, running back out of Kentucky. Great story. He's old as shit for a running back, I'll say that.
How old is he?
He's 24, going to be 25 during this season.
Okay.
But he's overcome a lot. I liked what I saw from him when I watched him. He's a really good pass blocker and should be a good guy in the pass game. Pretty fast, very productive career. He played I think he played at Vanderbilt before Kentucky. Pretty much was homeless for a lot of his life. Really overcame a lot, and I think he's going to be a fan favorite really fast here.
I believe I read or heard that he did not have a single fumble during his college career.
I actually am in the process of Googling that, so 'cause I remember you said that earlier.
Yeah.
And Herb, you mentioned prior to the recording starting that he, at 9 years old, was missing school to take care of his baby brother.
Yep.
That's
And he had
crazy.
to,
That's tough.
He before college, he had to present in front of a court to get his, to get his freedom to go to a boarding school.
Oh, emancipated?
Yeah, to get emancipated, and he said he considered himself an adult at age 12.
Do we need a running back? Well, I believe Latavius Murray is gone. Harris retired. Hines was also dismissed. And who else did that leave?
Nothing.
No.
Ty Johnson.
Ty Johnson. Okay, so yeah, all right. So our backfield's not too overcrowded.
Hey,
all right,
just real quick.
Yes, sir.
According to,
am I wrong?
No. BuffaloBills.com. So take that for what it's worth. 3 things you need to know about Ray Davis. He's a workhorse. In 22 and 23, he logged over 1,000 rushing yards and had over 21 total touchdowns in the final season. Averaged 5.7 yards a carry in 23, 5'8", 221. And his 21 touchdowns in 2023 set a Kentucky single season record, and he ranked number 3 in the FBS.
Okay.
So that's not shitty numbers.
No. All right, I get to announce round 5, pick one.
Another quick thing on Ray Davis: 3 different schools that he went over 1,000 yards.
3 different schools.
Started at Temple, then went to Vanderbilt, then Kentucky.
Wow.
As a freshman at Temple, he went for over 1,000 total yards. Not rushing, but over 1,000
That's okay.
yards.
We're starting to see backs working out of the backfield in the pass game, so that
almost 1,000 yards rushing too.
Okay.
He's a pretty solid player, and the stats that he put up in the SEC last year were very, very impressive.
Especially for Kentucky.
Yeah, and imagine if he even has a decent season, just a decent season, and Cook takes another step.
I think this guy is a better goal line back than Cook for sure. I think he's going to be a much better version of Latavius Murray.
Yeah.
That's not hard to do.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. All right, I get to announce round 5, 141 pick. Cedric Von Pron Granger, center from Georgia. I mean, Georgia's a good program, so I would assume anyone coming out of Georgia is good. Other than that, I don't know anything about the guy.
He's athletic. He's not like he's not one of those guys that just kind of sits there. He's real athletic for a center.
Okay,
so that's good to see. He's real long.
We definitely need a center, so
yeah,
that's good.
I'm a big fan of the offensive line, and so a pick like this is great. 5th round, I feel like that's good value. I don't know what the pundits had him as, but I felt like that was good value to pick him up.
Okay,
Yeah. Longtime starter at Georgia. That's a great thing. I think he started over like 40 games at center at Georgia. I guess he's another short arm guy, but he's big. He's a good athlete. Hey, that arm length, it matters. Length matters.
I know. That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
He doesn't have the length, but he's got the girth.
Wow. I'll have to tell my wife.
He's I'm gonna look at a lot of dicks. I'm gonna look at a lot of dicks stuff this weekend.
That's a concern.
That was
I'll
the
be
store.
blowing everybody.
That was the store. This guy could play. A lot of people consider him a 3rd or maybe a 4th round pick at worst.
Are you going to start talking about any of these guys' hand size too, with the arm lengths?
I don't.
I mean, I know the linemen. That's great to have longer arms because you can create better separation. But
somebody I heard say that centers, you don't even want the long arms because you want to be able to go like this really fast. If this is a podcast, so I can't really show you what I'm doing, but you got to be able to snap it really fast and put your arms up really fast.
Right.
That's true. I think that center is one of the harder positions in football.
Absolutely, It is. You got to cover 2 gaps. Mm-hmm. You're like the quarterback of the line and calling out the plays and or coverages and all that stuff. Got to be smart.
The tush push. We're
tush push.
Us and the Eagles are the tush push teams. I mean, we need another tush push guy.
Yeah. You? Okay, bud. Anyways. Sorry, folks. All right. Dennis, you got...
oh, wow. Look at
You
that.
can never have too many
his name.
tush pushers.
Edafon Ulaficio.
God bless you.
Close, right?
Yeah, that's close.
So he's a linebacker.
We need him. We need him.
We do. Because we haven't heard much about Matt Milano. Other than that, he's here. That's all I've heard. I haven't heard that he's doing well or he's not doing well. Or
I think I saw a picture of him working out the other day, so I guess he's
at the stadium.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Was he working out his legs? Because that was what was wrong.
Yep, he was actually what I saw.
Let's hope so. Yeah.
Nice.
And a total side note with Milano, apparently he's a frequent shopper at Whole Foods here on Sheridan, and now I know why my wife's there 3 days a week.
Really, he shops there.
Apparently.
So you just got to go there often enough to look for some giant dude.
Yep.
All right, I'll keep going there with my Amazon returns and walk the aisles. Just got to find out what he drives. I mean, we definitely need a linebacker. Does anyone see? Did you watch highlights on this guy, Dennis?
A few, and he seems, the guy. I remember the guy on ESPN, I think it was talking him down. I thought he looked great. I think that he kind of goes the wrong way sometimes. Which isn't great, yeah. But, he seems to play with some fire, so that's nice.
Is he a tackler?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just remember, just about every guy on ESPN talked Josh Allen down when we picked him. So
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
This guy's really athletic. Another older guy, I think he's like 24, similar to Ray Davis, but team captain, super athletic.
2 captains. I do see a C on there.
And, Matt Milano was a 5th rounder as a linebacker. So, I mean, this guy... some good. He's kind of undersized in the same way the Bills have kind of focused on guys like that. So maybe he'll be our next find, our next late round gem.
Who's next? Mike, you got this next guy?
yeah, so Javon Solomon, and I did extensive research on him in the past 3 minutes on my phone. So
good job.
Yep. So he was picked the 33rd pick in round 3. Which made it number 168 overall. 6'1", 246. He had 33 sacks and 49 and a half tackles for loss in the last 3 seasons.
Wow.
And in this past season, he led the FBS in total sacks with 16. So that's kind of huge.
Fucking sacks last year.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
So whose spot is he going to take?
Vaughn.
Well, yeah, or Groot. If you don't get his head out of his ass.
I love this pick as like a situational pass rusher. I mean, he comes in on pass downs. He's short, but he's got long arms, and he is fucking productive as hell. 16 sacks. And who else? O.C. Umenyiora came from Troy, and some other stud.
They've had a couple of good ones. I can't remember who they are, but
Yeah, for Dallas.
was it
I'll think of it at some point.
94?
Oh yeah, DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah, that's
DeMarcus
what it was,
Ware and O.C. Umenyiora.
Yeah, he's a
went
stud.
to Troy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have a pipeline there, and he's had a great career. If he was like 6'4", he would have gone much higher in the draft. But he's got the arms of a 6'4" guy. So hey,
Yeah.
I like it.
Hey for long arms.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay. Herb, you've got the next guy.
Tylen Grable, O-tackle out of UCF. So what I know about this guy is he's another good athlete, really good athlete, and he's kind of, I think him and our guy Clayton later, these guys are kind of late round stabs to see what they can do and if they stick.
Right.
Yep.
Depth
They're
picks.
kind of high upside gambles late.
Okay. I've got Daquan Hardy, cornerback, Penn State, a Big Ten guy. And I don't honestly know anything about him. I don't remember him standing out in the Ohio State game that I probably watched. But Big Ten can play. So
He returned some punts, I know.
he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
This guy's tiny, but he's a good fit as our backup nickel corner, which we needed. And he's a really good, like Dennis said, a really good punt returner. So he could stick on the roster doing those 2 things.
What about tackling?
Hey, he's feisty.
I'm not sure what the how to take that. Yeah, I take that.
What are the arms? Short or long?
He's got to have tiny arms, I'm assuming. Yeah, he's tiny in all areas. I think he has. I think he actually has small hands too.
Was he at your tailgate? Or?
Yeah, was he in the competition?
Yeah, no, he's not going to get pushed around though. He's a small guy, but he'll get up in there.
All right, Dennis, why don't you cap off the last pick here?
So we've got Travis Clayton. He is from England, and he was a rugby player. So I guess the thing is that everybody's trying to be like Jordan Mailata, and they always say that it's good to train somebody to, be what they are before they actually have any experience. So that's good.
Bro, he's 6'7", 301 pounds.
Yeah, I think seventh round, I think that big. I mean, what the hell, why not? And like you were saying, Herb, we get a draft, an extra spot for him, right?
Yeah, we get an extra practice squad. This guy's a ridiculous athlete. He ran a 4.79, which at 6'7", over 300 pounds, is unheard of fast. Like, he's one of the fastest humans ever, considering his size. He's probably got a lot of upside, but he's probably years away. He's never really played football at all.
So then how the heck do they assign him
So they did
offensive line?
It's part of the international program that the NFL does. They do a little combine. He's a rugby player
And boxing also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put that sucker on the D line.
Yeah.
No, you know where you put him? Fullback. And you hand it off to your running back, and you say, follow the fullback.
Right? Yeah.
And when you need a yard or two,
This guy's a
how are you going to
monster.
stop him? Or give him the ball and say, get us a yard.
Have him do the tush push. Or put him
when you
behind
think- when you
Josh
think
for the
about it,
tush push.
He might injure Josh.
Yeah.
When you think about it, the boxer has to have quick hands, right?
Yep.
Offensive linemen have to have quick
Yeah.
hands.
Well, so did D too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to swat those offensive linemen's hands down.
Yeah.
All right. So the Bills also made a couple moves in undrafted free agents, or right, Mike, undrafted.
Yes, undrafted free agents.
Okay, so one of them stuck out because of his name, Frank Gore Jr. Anybody know anything on him?
I love Frank Gore Sr.'s quote about it. If I can find
Dennis, did you see any footage of this kid running the ball?
Not a whole lot, actually. I mean, he's got a good pedigree. I mean,
yeah,
Frank Gore was
sure.
a hell of a running back.
Yep.
I'm trying to get everything to come up now, and it's not coming up, of course. So I don't know.
Give me
All right.
1 minute. I'll give you the quote.
Okay. In the meantime, they also picked up a handful of other guys that I wish I researched more, but
The Ohio
was-
State not running back.
Ohio State wide receiver.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was good.
Yeah, I'm familiar with him. And then they also did pick up a wide receiver from the Detroit Lions.
I got Frank Gore Sr.'s quote if you're ready.
I'm ready.
This will give you chills. We're good. We're going to Buffalo, man, to do our thing. Tell them they better be ready. Trust me. I know what I'm raising. Folks slept on my son. They slept on me, too. They'll see. My bloodline is for real. Our pre-draft testing was identical. All the scouts were like, you could tell me that's my son. Or you could tell that's my son. I fuck with Brandon Bean. He's the real deal. I'm happy to get my son to this point. We're coming to play. Buffalo got a dog. I promise you that. I don't give a shit about a draft pick. We're about to party and do our thing.
That's from the X.
I love that. Just seeing that, I want him on the team.
Yeah.
I agree. You got to have a lot of fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Being undrafted, I feel like, we drafted the guy in the 4th round. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
If I saw that and I'm Ty Johnson, I'm shaking in my boots and I'm soiling my pants.
Oh, my God. I don't know about that shit, but. All right, let's talk about this guy here. Quintez Cephas. Guy was, removed from the league last year for gambling?
Yeah, we took a gamble on him.
And we did, yeah. So what is he, what kind of gamer is he prior to his suspension? Is he decent?
He's slow as shit.
God.
He runs like he's slower than that offensive lineman we drafted from England. Literally.
Come on, really?
But, I mean, he's a good route runner. He's probably not going to make the team, I'd say.
Oh. All right.
Maybe.
Sounds promising. All right.
Oh, boy. All right. You know what? Let's,
We have 3 punters on the roster. I saw that.
3 punters.
Oh, there's one thing I have to say about Frank Gore. So,
Senior or junior?
Junior. The other famous person that went to Southern Mississippi where Frank Gore Jr. went. Do you know who that is?
Southern Mississippi. Isn't that Brett Favre?
It sure is. There
Oh,
you go.
yeah.
Gotta love Brett Favre. Anything to do with Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
Except for that, he was in some kind of scandal recently. We don't want to talk about that.
Let's talk to,
Hey,
you're live on the pod.
Oh, no.
What do you mean, oh, no?
I'm just about to put Andy to bed, but I'll be live on the pod. What do you got?
No, what do you got? What do you think about the draft picks?
You know what? I don't know enough about the draft to know how these guys are going to turn out. I know the NFL draft, these guys we picked this year, like we learned last year, they can have an impact immediately, unlike other sports. So quantity does matter. I trust the Bills organization. They've done well over the past couple of years with their draft picks. I mean, you got a receiver, you got depth in the D-line. It's wait and see. That's all you can do. Wait and see. And,
absolutely.
You know, Josh can make a lot of people better. So, you know what? You don't have to have a marquee receiver. He can make you – he's an elite quarterback, so he can make you that much better just being Josh Allen and having him on a team. So that's what I got. That's what I can add in terms of the draft.
Okay. What about how about hockey so far, this playoffs?
It's a wait and see approach. That's what we have so far. Wait and see.
That's all you're going to give us?
That's all I'm going to give you.
You sound a little nervous.
My mouth off. I ran my mouth off up 3-1, not realizing that they blew a 3-1 lead last year. And sure enough, they played like absolute a trash fire yesterday. And now I've got to go back to Toronto and put up with that. And if they lose again, I have to deal with another Game 7 for like the 12th consecutive year in a row. So I'm not looking forward to it.
Oh, you are keeping yourself really reserved at the moment.
Well, you know, I spent last night destroying stuff. So the bottom line is that I blew off enough steam so I could be somewhat composed for the podcast.
You also blew off my text.
I totally blew off everyone. Mike, nothing personal.
No.
I deleted everybody's.
I did not take it personal.
But I went right through. I went right through the list of motherfuckers that texted me after that game.
Well, I texted you before overtime telling you Pasta was going to score.
I know you did. I know you did. But here's the thing. For game 1, I ignored my phone completely. For game 2, I was texting somebody on the podcast who was asking me about William fucking Nylander, and all of a sudden they shit the bed for game 2. Ignored my phone game 3, 1. Ignored my phone game 4, 1. So I was following up tradition and totally blew off my phone. And then when I lost overtime, I saw Keith delete, Mike, love you to death. Fantastic.
Delete.
Appreciate your support. Gone. Everyone from work gone. I didn't ignore it. I actually deleted every single one of them.
You did respond to me. I can't remember if it was 3 or 4, but it was the game that Marchand scored to go ahead, and then he scored the empty netter. And I told you I'm half the man, or I don't know who I am anymore because I was cheering for Marchand.
I know, and that's a Buffalo thing outside of Bourbon Rob. I think Buffalo's more sick of Toronto fans than Bruins fans. So the bottom line is they are quietly, very, very quietly pulling for them, which always in itself makes me nervous. But yeah, no, I just try to keep as composed as possible. And yeah, no, when they win, it's rainbows and balloons and sunshine and you're skipping down the street. When they lose, it's a goddamn rain cloud.
Yep.
Hey, listen, I was that guy that asked about Nylander. I heard he's back now.
I wasn't going to put your name out
That's
there.
fine. I was not asking maliciously. I was just curious where the guy was. He's like one of their top players. And I'm like, where the hell is he?
What was my response?
I don't give a fuck.
What about Austin Matthews? What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on with that guy?
Not my problem.
Yes, so is he hurt or is he just playing like shit and they benched him?
So again, what happened was apparently he had food poisoning. Dude was a beast in game 2. He won that game solely for that team. Like that guy was a problem. And then he kind of shit the bed for game 3 and 4. He had almost little to no impact. So he actually sat out the third period of game 4 and food poisoning. But what apparently something happened with the food poisoning that's not food poisoning that led to something either slightly more serious or more damning. But so that's it. And you know what? I texted my buddy, sitting and touched my phone. Joe from Kenmore, you know who you are. Should not have touched my phone, but I texted him and I said, prophesize.
Herb.
It would be a damn shame without Austin Matthews if the Bruins lose this game. They didn't just lose the game. They didn't show up for about 25, 30 minutes.
And they came out guns a-blazing in overtime. 4 shots, 5 shots, before.
They do that. Like that's, if you see that, that's Boston's MO, and they lose. That's exactly how it came out in Game 7 in 2019. Guns blazing, fantastic opening 10 minutes. They the fact that they scored a goal on 2 shots in the first period kind of tells you where Toronto is. But, this happened last year. I'm serious. I told my son, I said, listen, if I was the coach at the 15-minute mark, I would walk out on the ice with smelling salts. I'd walk up to every man, and I would say, take a sniff, boys. Wake the fuck up, because you guys are not dialed in.
Herb.
At all.
Herb.
And,
Sean.
is her falling asleep?
Sean. Herb.
Yes.
What? Herb. Herb.
Yo,
What do you think of Joe from Kenmore?
who's that?
I don't know. He's a friend of Sean's. What do you think about that guy?
That guy's a fucking joke.
Poor Joe from Kenmore.
Does Joe from Kenmore listen to your podcast, Sean?
He will now.
He's an embarrassment to Kenmore, honestly. I mean, I can't stand that guy. I got a question for Sean.
Go ahead, Herb.
Sean, does arm length matter?
It absolutely does. Absolutely does.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, we're screwed.
Yeah, we're
Cole
screwed.
Bishop sucks and Cedric Van Granger sucks then. We're done.
His measurement for potential is arm length.
Yeah, I mean.
But Javon Solomon's a stud then.
Everybody's got alligator arms here.
I see.
Yeah.
Tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tiny.
no, it's
Yeah.
not good.
Sean, how long if you had to take a guess right now, how long would you say your arms are?
I've got abnormally long arms. Like
Give me in inches.
Like inches or feet. I can give you some feet,
Inches.
dude. All right, I'm gonna measure myself post pod. I'm gonna go 38 inches.
Jesus, this guy would be a monster.
That's what I'm gonna say.
You could play left tackle right now.
38 inches.
38 inches. You have yardsticks hanging off your shoulders?
I'm telling you, dude. You know what? I'm looking for the tape measure right now.
Have your awesome wife measure your arms.
I'm looking for the damn
38.
tape measure right now.
Wow.
I think I'm about there. I think I got shouldered. I haven't cut my fingernails, so I got a quarter of an
That
inch
helps.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the fingernail.
Let's do it. Here we go.
All right.
Give me 1 second.
Who's helping you?
16-footer, so we're in shape.
Who's helping you?
When I hear in the draft that a guy's got 35-inch arms,
can
I
you
immediately
measure
think
my arms?
left tackle.
All right.
He's a
it's
beast.
going to,
hold
just
on.
so you realize, it's
38,
gonna
this
flex a
guy
little
could
bit
play
'cause of
right
my
now.
step, so
What, Sean?
right to the fingertip. You got to go higher. It's not even up to my shoulder, honey. Keep going.
Armpit,
Keep going,
armpit.
Keep going. There you go. Okay, so remember, you got to take a little bit off from the actual bicep, so it's curling a little bit. It's not going to be scientific.
Just so we're all on the same page, this is not the first time that Sean's asked his wife to measure him.
That's correct. All right, so I was off a little bit. It was 35.
Wow.
35-inch arms? There's no
Dude,
way he's measuring
I
that
do-
right.
Stephanie,
Get her on the phone.
real quick.
Get her on the phone.
A little bit louder.
35.
Thank you.
Oh, my God.
Sign them.
Dude, I can't believe
Sign
you've
'em.
seen me before. I'm like gangly like Lincoln. I got long arms.
You're always
no long
covering your
feet.
body with that Bruins bullshit. We can't see your arms.
I've seen this guy play wide receiver during Turkey Bowl, and he's a beast. I mean, the way he extends his arms, you know what? I guess I'm not shocked by 35 inches.
Is he?
It's just, I mean, it's not like the biggest, greatest feature, but yeah, dude, I get 35.
It is.
I mean,
It
I'm
is.
looking at it, it's easily 3 feet.
Right now, Stephanie is thinking to herself, what the hell is happening with these guys?
Wow.
Sean, serious question. Can you dunk? 10-foot rim?
I could. I absolutely could when I was younger. I can't get up there like I can anymore.
Wow.
But when I was in high school, I could dunk because my hands were
Damn.
the palm of the ball.
No way. You dunked?
With a girl's ball, I could get it like over the rim and grab. With an actual ball, I was just a little bit too short. But I absolutely could grab rim and.
On a 10-foot hoop?
Oh, those days are over. But hell yeah.
We might need to know hand
Oh, my
size
God.
now.
No shit.
Can you get your hands measured, too?
What's that?
Yeah, thumb to pinky.
No, it's I think it's palm to pinky
No, palm to middle finger.
Middle finger.
or
Tip.
palm to middle.
Yeah, get us a measurement.
This guy could play.
Okay.
What do you run in the 40?
Not what I used to back in the day.
All right, what about back in the day?
Like the center or
Wait a minute. If you could almost dunk, why the heck did you give up basketball after 8th grade?
Oh, dude, man, you see how tall I am. I mean, I can get up there, but you know what? By the time you get into JV and varsity, man, dude, you don't understand. Well, Kyle, you weren't around, but like Mike was gone. Chris was not there. My school was the first school that played the combined Niagara Falls team, where they combined Niagara Falls and LaSalle.
Yeah.
And they ripped the state apart for like 3 years.
Yeah.
This guy is not competing against that. Like,
Okay.
I mean, that was like elite basketball, like unseen before in this area. Like that was my junior and senior year. Like, forget it. Dude, I got no shot.
All right, fair
That
enough.
was also that we were also playing 13 grades, right? So in high school, we would do a Christmas tournament where we would invite 2 Canadian high school teams. This is ridiculous. Who at the time Canada went up to grade 13, so junior or freshman college kids would come and tune up Kenmore East and Kenmore West every Christmas. Every
Tune
Christmas
up.
we get killed because
funny.
we're playing college kids.
Yeah.
So it was brutal.
All right.
Okay.
Yep, thanks for your insight.
And anything else? I hope to be less terse next time. I do apologize for my vulgar language and my abruptness, but I am playoff hockey Sean styled in.
You told me you're 1,000% when it's Bruins time.
1,000% full in, stand the whole game, about 3.5 feet or 1 arm length away from the TV, and just that's how it is.
All right.
All right.
All right, talk to you soon.
Happy podcast, gentlemen. We'll
See
talk
ya.
to you soon.
All right, bye.
See ya.
All right, there you have it from Sean. Hey, when's the bill schedule release?
They said later this month, but they didn't give a date.
I thought it was supposed to be today.
No.
Okay.
Well, it'll be released little by little over several days, like it always does, and then
I gotta
Yeah.
get the date for the big party on the calendar here.
yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Herb, you'd be probably fun at that.
What's
you do
that?
a home opener, or
No, it's usually like the first away game,
okay?
and hopefully it's at 1 o'clock and not the first 6 games are fucking prime times.
Yeah,
Fucker. Do you think they'll get as many this year?
Yep.
You do?
Yeah.
I do.
I don't think so.
No.
Because
Would they have 6 last year?
6 or 7.
Sal Capaccio gets the guy who does it, Mike North, on his podcast, and he said we're going full throat
Fuck that
towards
guy.
the Bills or something.
What does that mean?
Full throttle,
Yeah. I hear that.
full steam ahead.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What does he
He's
mean?
all in on the Bills' primetime games.
that means we're
gonna
not
get
going to
5 of them.
sleep until March.
Oh God, no thanks.
We'll cut out in the second round of the playoffs again, so it'll be all right.
I hope not. All right, we're gonna try another guest here.
This our year. We got new blood this year.
Hopefully he's not. Let's see if he's available here. We're trying to call Woody. Uh-oh. I don't think he's going to answer. Oh, well.
Herb.
Hi, you've reached Chris. Please leave your name and number.
Oh, jeez. All right. Anyways, so does everyone have better feelings on the upcoming season based on just the draft alone?
I wouldn't say better. I do like what they did in the draft. I do want to say that I was a little more than upset about when they traded with the Chiefs. That to me is like trading with the Dolphins or the Patriots or something.
Well, let me
You
ask you
just
this.
can't do that.
Besides them just being the Chiefs, like they could have done any other team and still draft the same guy. Is that the guy that you wanted the Bills to get?
No.
Okay.
The one that I wanted the Bills to get was the guy that the Chiefs got in our spot, Xavier Worthy.
Oh, you
And
did want the Bills.
I
to
did
get-
want him.
Yeah, that's what I asked. That's how I tried
okay.
wording the question.
Oh, sorry.
I know
did
it's hard
want-
to see me through that little slit here and all the
Yeah.
equipment.
I did want Worthy. I liked him because he actually returns punts as well, and he's fast. I feel like you got a quarterback with a rocket for an arm, and so that's one of the things in football. I feel like you should do at least once a game is throw it deep, even if it doesn't
Threaten it.
Even if it doesn't get completed, you got to have them playing on their heels.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. You guys keep talking about this. Do we really want a player who plays multiple positions on the team? A wide receiver who's returning kicks?
Not if he's one of your top 3, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't mind him doing it if they're not your premier receivers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll say this as far as Worthy. Worthy was not the main guy I wanted for the Bills, but neither was Keon. I think, first of all, I think Ladd McConkey would have represented a perfect replacement for Diggs. I think he can win it on the short, intermediate, and deep balls.
Where did he play college?
Georgia. I think he would have been a great target hog for us. I think, and I also think the other guy from Texas, Adonai Mitchell, would have represented a glove in hand fit at X receiver. Keon Coleman is more of a O.J. Simpson glove in hand fit at X receiver. He's
You were saving that one.
yeah. He's a risky proposition there.
Is he like Davis?
I think he's a much better Davis. No offense, Kyle. I know you're a big Davis guy, but I think he's got a lot more upside to be a better Davis. I think he's risky in terms of route running and separation skills. But he played for Tom Izzo at Michigan State basketball. Like he's an athlete and he's got a lot of upside and potential.
He played basketball and football.
Yeah, at Michigan State.
Wow.
I think that'll be good for the end zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make a touchdown.
I think he could be our touchdown maker.
So
for
you
sure.
brought up my boy Davis. What was Davis's main downfall? Was it separation? Like, I guess we'll see like what happens with Joe Brady after a off season to collect his thoughts and prepare and organize, or was Davis just schemed out of it for whatever other reasons that we aren't privy to?
Yeah, I think Davis is an underrated player in a way by Bills fans because he did a lot of the things that don't show up on the stat sheet, like blocking.
Yeah.
And I think Keon, another big thing about Keon is he's a great blocker from everything I've heard. But he wasn't a great route runner. I think that was his biggest weakness.
Have we talked?
The big thing is he's young, right? Weren't you saying before that he's young?
20.
Yeah, he's still only 20.
I think that's big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have we talked in person on a live pod yet about Diggs?
No, I don't think so.
Herb, you go first. Were you okay with them letting him go?
So I think they got more than what I would have expected if they were to trade Diggs. I'll say this. I was telling people till I was fucking blue in the face that there's no way they're trading Diggs and paying him more to not play for us than play for us. I was certain they were not trading Diggs. So I was pretty shocked that they were going to do it, and I was obviously wrong. I heard from Jay Skursky. He came to a local library.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, Jay was great. He comes to the local Brighton Place Library in Tonawanda next to Kenmore East. He gave his spiel. He does a great job. He answers questions. He said about a couple weeks before they traded Diggs, he had talked to a team official about it, and the quote was that they were quote-unquote tolerating Diggs. So they were not happy with him. I think he was making a scene behind the scenes. And from everyone that I've talked to that's ever worked with Diggs, even on like commercials or anything like that, is he's just he's just a prickly personality. He's not an easy person to get along with. And I think Josh may have gone above and beyond to like get along with him and establish a good rapport with him. The other thing that came out in the Athletic article, Tim Graham wrote that they had a huge blow up after the Jets Monday night game, week 1. And Diggs was not happy with Josh's off-season preparation. And Josh struggled that first game, and people were, giving him pats on the back and stuff like that, and Diggs came up to him, and they didn't really Tim Graham didn't really hear what he said, but Josh like blew up on him and said he said it's one fucking game, all right? That's what Josh said to Diggs.
Well, Josh did throw a pick, I believe his first pass, but if not the first drive of that
He
game.
was god awful in that game, like terrible. It didn't look like the same Josh Allen.
I will say this: for a while, I did follow Diggs' social media, and that dude does work in the off season.
Yep.
Oh, he's a hard worker, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Perfecting his craft, that is for sure. You know, and then I see more Josh Allen photos with his girlfriend strolling around shops in L.A., Beverly Hills than I do him working on his craft in the off season. But then again, you know, some of the greats were probably like that in the day, right? Guys would just have fun in the summer and come back and
It's a different time, though.
yeah.
It's a different
These guys are all machines now. I mean,
I think everybody is different too. Like, you know, some guys that are just that talented they need time away from the game. You know, because like when they're so locked in during the football season, they need time away.
yeah.
I don't know how many of you guys watched it. Dennis, I think you did because you commented on it. But I sent you guys the, whatever they call it, the Bills behind the scenes.
Oh, the
YouTube stuff.
embedded or whatever?
Embedded,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And they were showing Shakir working out with Eric Moulds and help me out here, Tyrell.
Dodson. No, Bernard.
No, it was Bernard.
Terrell
It was,
Bernard.
yeah, Terrell Bernard was working out with someone from the Houston Texans, I think, and just the workouts, the every single day workouts.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the way it has to be. You can't come into camp overweight anymore. You can't come into camp out of shape. You can't. You have to come into camp on day one where your only goal for camp is to get in game shape, go from in shape to game shape, you know?
Yeah.
I have a dumb question. The Bills run a 4-3 or a 3-4?
4-3.
Yeah, I think it's a 4-3 at this point.
So imagine
But,
the line.
well, actually, the Bills' base defense is a nickel defense, which is 4 D linemen. They have 2 linebackers and 5
D-backs. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I was going to just look at, as I was just thinking, you have Milano coming back. You have a Bernard who definitely blew away everyone's expectations.
Right. We have not
And
really
then
seen
you
those two
actually
together.
draft I don't know if he's was the star linebacker for Washington or not, but if you got a solid linebacking crew, maybe they'll adjust the defense a little bit and play 3 backers.
Yeah.
Does the NFL play a lot of 3 backers?
Well,
I think they're getting away from it more and more because I think more people they play like 3 wide receivers.
Because
Well,
there's so much passing now in the league instead of running.
I'll be happy with 2. You know, we haven't seen these 2 guys really play much together.
And do we still have Terrell Dodson on the roster, or is he gone?
No, I think
he's
he's
He
gone.
gone?
Seattle.
He gone.
I think it was Seattle.
He gone.
He got good. He got starters money. So Dodson's more of a run
Trying to
stopper.
feed you here.
Yeah,
He gone.
he gone.
Yeah, that's what I've been waiting
Yeah,
for.
sorry. Yeah. How did I miss that? Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Drunk.
he gone.
He gone.
But yeah, our base defense is nickel. We play that. Oh my gosh, our nickel corner.
Taron Johnson.
Taron Johnson plays like 95 to 100% of the snaps.
Guy's good. He's
Yeah.
reliable.
So they don't want to take him off the field, and he doesn't play outside corner. So we're nickel all the time.
I think he just signed a new deal too, didn't he?
Yep. He's the highest paid nickel corner in the NFL by like 0.1 million. So we're not taking him off the field.
I'd take 0.1 million.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Hey.
What's your predictions? This is open question. Predictions, Kyer Elam's performance this year. Better, worse, same?
I'd say he's one of the most important important players on our team. Like, I don't know. And I have no idea what to expect.
I did see photos of him working out.
Yeah.
Trying to get better.
He's total. Well, okay, so not most important players on our team, but like he could make a big impact. If he turns out to be really good.
Yep.
So he's our number 3 outside corner right now. He's not even a starter. But if he turned out to be really good, that would just be a big thing for our team.
Absolutely.
And our franchise moving forward.
He has nothing to lose. Nothing
Yeah.
to lose at this point. He gets no playing time.
Yep.
You know, he's a first round draft pick that every other team, when his contract's up, is going to be, oh, you didn't do anything there. You know, so he has nothing to lose, everything to gain.
Yeah.
I hope he lays it all out.
Yeah, I think he'll be good. Better, I should say, not good, but I think that he shows flashes, and so I think if they can coach him up a little bit, how he plays, then I think that'll be good.
What about?
Well, I'll say one other. Like like you guys saying, he's a total boom bust guy. Like he could be after his contract is up, he could be signing a 1-year cheap contract, or he could be signing $100 million contract. Like he could be. He's such a boomer bust proposition.
What is the prediction for Justin Shorter's future?
Special teams, in my opinion, and maybe backup X receiver.
Let's see him stay healthy.
Yeah.
I think after that, we'll see. I mean, he's huge. He's definitely huge. But I think that you got to have him stay healthy for actual football instead of just the weight room.
I'm going to say this too, and this goes for I think all receiving anybody who can catch the ball from Josh. You need to stay on Josh's good side, and the reason I say that is I think Josh does have a lot of pull. I think Josh, dictates who gets what. Look at what happened with Diggs, right? He and Diggs start butting heads. The last 6-7 games of the season, what did Diggs do? Nothing, right? I mean, his production went right up, and it wasn't Diggs. They weren't throwing him the ball, and they proved they can win without him. So, Kyle, back to what you had asked about, how do we feel post-draft, how they're going to do next season. I'm, okay, two schools of thought, and I'm probably going to get ripped for both. Number one, I was one of the few who was never super worried. I think we've got, number one, we have Josh. Number two, we have a pretty solid core still, even with these veterans that we let go. Our biggest challenge, I don't even think is going to be us. I think it's going to be the division's getting stronger all around us, minus maybe New England, getting stronger all around us.
Yep.
1. 2, Bean, the whole trust the process. Bean has not let us down. McDermott's let us down. Bean has given him the tools. We should have won one by now. And I do believe us trading back into the second round was the best thing for us. I think that Bean got the guy he wanted for $5 million less, moved up draft picks. Who knows? The Matt Milano 5th round, you never know.
Yep.
So, do I think we're going to win the Super Bowl? No, I don't. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't think we're quite there. We're going to get into the playoffs, and I hope, Dennis, back to what I said to you, I hope I'm wrong. I hope we win it.
Yeah. I kind of agree with you about where we're going to end up, probably second round of the playoffs, maybe, which is still a good season. But when we're not draft era Bills anymore, so I feel like we have to kind of look at that a little differently. I think having Josh, we're in every game just about, and so I think you're right, Mike, that we have a good core still, and so I think we have a decent team. But I think at the same time, everybody else in the division got better. Like you said, minus the Patriots. And so, now it's doubtful that Aaron Rodgers tears his Achilles again. So I think the Jets have to be you have to take them a little more serious. So I guess we'll see.
I feel like maybe we're wrapping up a little. I have one question for you guys. Do we win the division again?
Depends on how healthy Aaron Rodgers stays, maybe.
You think that's our competition, not Miami?
Didn't Miami get, every team is you get rid of something, you gain something, right? Otherwise you're not doing it.
For Miami, it came down to the last game of the season for us to win it.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is we still have by far the best quarterback.
100%.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. And we need to. The Bills will take it on themselves to assert dominance. We're the better team. I don't know if we're the better overall roster, but the quarterback is more important than the other 52 guys on the roster, as far as I'm concerned.
In this day and age of the NFL, yes.
Yeah. But I think we have a lot of talent on our team. We still have a decent amount of good core guys, like the Bones are there. We lost a lot.
Them Bones are good.
Bones are good.
Marin Morris sings that, I believe.
Yeah, but like the Jets in Miami, if you take away quarterback, I think the Jets in Miami are. The Jets are a better team.
Let me throw this.
Take away quarterback.
Hypothetical at you. What if Josh Allen was on the Jets? would they be Super Bowl contenders immediately?
I don't care if you put Josh Allen on the Patriots, they're Super Bowl contender. That's
but the Jets are like kind of stacked, aren't they? Minus a quarterback.
Jets are fucking stacked.
I mean, the Jets still fell apart last year, even without Aaron Rodgers. Though they still
they got rid of a couple quarterback problems.
Yeah, they also their offensive line wasn't very good, and I know they added a lot to that.
And they got that stud running back. You got a stout defense. Okay, so let me ask you this: are the Bills building for a offensive powerhouse, or are they kind of modeling the Chiefs' stud defense, mediocre offense, just enough to win games?
Well,
right, because the Chiefs had the best points against.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
so you don't have to score a ton of points if your defense is refraining from letting in points.
Chiefs had serious problems last year in terms of their offense. Like, it was Kelsey and not much else, and Kelsey looked like he was on his way downhill until the playoffs started.
How fucking pathetic is that?
Yeah.
That they have two fucking players and a wide receiver, maybe a running back here and there, and they still freaking win the whole thing.
Yep. They have one of the better coaches.
Oh, speaking of the coaches, did you see what Andy Reid was? Did you see Andy Reid's thing with the shoe?
Yeah, he's using it as a shoe phone.
And did you hear what he said?
No, I didn't.
He picks the phone. He picks the phone up, and he goes, "Oh, hey, it's Josh Allen. Allen, it's Owen. 0-4."
Wow.
Seriously?
That's dead serious.
That's pissing me off.
That's rough. Yeah.
Okay, so we found the TikTok here, Herb. Let me know if you've heard this.
Nice.
Oh, hey, I'm getting a call from Josh Allen. Hey, Josh Allen's going, knock, knock. Who's there? Owen. Owen who? Owen 3, baby. Hey.
I think we've determined that's AI, though.
Fuck that. That's not Andy Reid.
Yeah, I know. It is kind of funny. I did see that, though.
It's like, I don't want to hate Andy Reid right now.
You previously just mentioned about maybe it is coaching and not roster. Does he get one more season? And if it's the same result, is he being questioned, or
you're talking about McDermott, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
or is it like a loyalty thing, and they just keep handing him the thing?
I mean, barring something crazy happening, I don't see him going anywhere. But I think he should. I think he should have already been gone. But
well, I mean, like I mentioned in the interview with Mary, it's so frustrating that you have this stud of a football player.
Yeah.
And either you don't have the right pieces, you don't have the right mentoring or coaching, and we're going to keep watching this.
And that was one of my arguments for the wide receiver thing, too, is that you have Josh Allen, who's amazing, and we're not doing anything with him.
Yeah. I mean, he's putting up fucking stats and shit, but
we're winning regular season games, which is great. It's fun, but I mean, it doesn't. I'd love to only win 10 games and win the Super Bowl.
I'd rather go 7-9 and squeak in, and then I would love them to lose these regular season games against Kansas City and then beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
Fuck.
But hey, we needed them this year. We needed the even that Kansas City. I mean, they basically, so it's different, but like they started their playoffs, as far as I'm concerned, when they were 6-6, 7-6.
Yeah.
Every game was a must-win game.
Yep, we talked about that here.
So, people were saying there's no way they're making playoffs at all. So I think they did win a lot of big games, a lot of must-win games.
Playoffs?
All right, now take a drink.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
We'll play that game next season.
I was ready for McDermott to go around that time when we were 6-6, 7-6 for sure. But
did he win you over a little bit?
Yeah, I think in a way, yeah, they rallied around him after that whole that article of the Taliban and
yeah. So if the defense is not as good this year, is the new guy the scapegoat? I don't even know his name. Is the new DC the scapegoat, or does it still fall into McDermott?
They haven't said who's going to call plays yet. So
okay. So then what's the point of having a defensive coordinator if McDermott's going to be still calling the plays?
You wonder.
Yeah, you wonder if maybe if they start off slow or something, we'll say, oh, we're going to switch play calling duties to to Babbage is going to call plays now, or other way around. Like, so they have a little bit of an out there, where they can just, because media is going to, and the fans are going to be coming for their head if they start off 2-3 or something.
That's why I'm interested in the schedule. We could predict how their record's going to go.
We definitely have some tough
You do.
opponents.
Yeah.
You do. You play some good teams this year. Okay. So, any other football matters? Do you think a team really drafted the pants off of somebody else, or I'm waiting to see if the Bills do anything else in free agency before the start.
Yeah.
After June 1st.
Yeah, what did Brandon Bean say? It's not September yet.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'll say one team that didn't draft their pants off.
Arizona?
Atlanta.
Oh, that's it. Yep. That's it.
They took Phoenix when they had.
Kirk Cousins. What a dumb pick.
Like, you can't do both those things. You can't invest $100+ million into Kirk Cousins and then also draft a quarterback 8th overall. That's insane.
You know what? That just goes right back to we've talked about it on this podcast about Kirk Cousins is a financial genius. This guy has made so much money as a mostly mediocre quarterback.
Has won only one playoff game.
And now he made another $100+ million.
$100 million guaranteed.
And he may not play.
Yep.
You know? Yeah. Give me $100 million. I'll sit on the bench.
I like that move if it's second round. If they pick Penix in the second round, I think that's a decent move. Like, it's kind of a steal.
But weren't all quarterbacks taken in the first round?
Yeah, like I think 6.
6 in the top 12.
That's what happens when you know, I mean, obviously. Oh, I heard a story about Caleb Williams. Apparently, he was so focused on becoming the best quarterback that anyone could ever become that his parents paid for an apartment for him so he was not distracted, focusing on anything in football in his apartment. I'm like, really? I heard that story the other day. I was like, oh, that's crazy.
Man, but I feel like when he's with the NIL stuff, like, he must have been making millions. Millions.
Yeah.
Millions.
I bet like at least $5 million last year.
Dude, where's my NIL?
Yeah.
Really?
Son of a biscuit. All right. Anyways, let's talk. What is everyone's thoughts about Lindy Ruff?
So I love Lindy Ruff, but I don't think it was a great move. And I think the time is kind of passing by a little bit. He's a great coach. He's like the 4th winningest coach, something like that. But I think, you got to get some new blood in there.
Second time tonight.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I disagree. And listen, I'm not doing it out of nostalgia. I'm not doing it, I think the Sabres made it very clear that they didn't want a new coach. They wanted someone with experience.
Yep.
And of the coaches available right now, I don't know if he was the best, but he was definitely one of the best. And he probably came cheap because he probably knows that his coaching career is coming to an end. Mm-hmm. He still owns a home in Spalding Lake. He wants to come home. And I do believe, one of the arguments that I heard, and my friend who was at the draft night, who was very vocal, Chris, Chris is a Sabres fan.
We can say whatever we want about him. He ain't going to listen.
Yeah, right. He's a Sabres fan, but he's
like Herb.
Very, very negative all the time. And he was immediately texting me, what are these guys doing? The argument he makes, and the argument that I've heard from others, is Lindy's voice went numb to the players, right? None of those players are here anymore. He's starting over with a whole new team and a lot of people who still view him with respect, Mm-hmm. Look, I really feel that this team is at that point where it can take the next step. Is it going to compete with Boston and the Rangers? No, not yet. But
playoffs.
We should be in the playoffs.
Yeah, maybe my guard was up a little bit too much. Maybe I was just I was trying to, you kind of fight against the nostalgia because when I heard Lindy Ruff, I got excited. I thought about like the big brawl against the Senators back in 2006, I think.
Yeah.
Think about that kind of stuff, and you think about the stuff that he used to say, like in post game interviews about like players and on other teams and stuff like that, and like the fire, which I think is what's really missing there, and I think I just kind of put my guardrails up there a little bit. And
let me tell you this too. much like with players in this league, there's players in the league that'll have a 6-team no trade clause. We're always on it, right?
Yeah.
That's well known.
Oh, yeah.
My former VP at work is good friends with Bruce Boudreau. And when they brought in the guy they just fired, help me out here.
Granato.
Yeah, Granato. When they brought in Granato, they were looking for a coach. He was still my VP at the time. I asked him, and Bruce had just gotten let go from Vancouver.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, what about Bruce? He's like, nope, wants nothing to do with Buffalo. So it's with the coaches too.
Yeah.
Right. So not only do I think he was probably one of the best available, he may have been one of the only ones willing to come here. So
Yeah.
I loved on. I think I saw it on Twitter. There's a picture of Lindy Ruff. The arena's empty. This picture of Lindy Ruff just the other last week when he toured the arena or whatever,
Inspecting the roof leaks.
And he the caption said something like "same fucking roof" or
not for long.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what happens. I'm also excited to see with him coming here. I think he got the raw deal in Jersey because their goaltending was bad.
Yep.
But I'm like Mike said, the options were limited. Who are you going to bring in? You kind of just retreaded a guy, but of the options, probably the best. I am excited to see who he picks for his assistant. Like, I'm wondering if he's going to grab another head coach that didn't get a job and bring that guy in. I'm excited to see what the Sabres do in free agency, who they bring in, really show you, if they really care or not.
Again, the player has to want to come here.
True. I think that these players need a coach like Lindy Ruff who's going to bark at them.
Yep.
I think Granato is too friendly with them, maybe.
I follow this guy on Twitter, Dwayne Stendel is his name. He was one that went on this epic rant a couple years ago on GR55 and became kind of like infamous for it. So I follow him.
We got to do that. Herb, call him up.
And he posted an old clip from when Lindy was here. And he's on the ice just yelling and screaming at the guys, and he's like, this is the coach we need.
I think I saw that, yeah.
Herb, what do you think? Are you not a hockey guy?
I love Lindy. I love that guy. I fucking love that guy.
Folks, I did not hit a repeat, and that was not a stutter. Not a stutter.
I don't know.
He was skipping.
There's an echo in here.
Yeah.
No skips.
I don't know if it's a smart hire. I can see why they did it. He's a respectable NHL coach, which it might be just a major change from what we've had since Lindy Ruff. I mean, it's an actual NHL coach, and he's familiar with us. I can see why Kevin Adams would just be like, I gave Lindy a call, and he's coming back, because Kevin Adams coached under him. So
Yeah, he was his assistant, I believe.
I would have liked if they would have interviewed anyone else, which they probably didn't.
They may have. You never know.
But I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Like, I could see why, but I can also see why fans are pissed, because it's just like, well, you just brought him back because you know him. That's what they did. So I guess we'll see. I'm excited to have him back. I'm excited to have an actual NHL coach coaching our guys. We have so much talent. We have to make. There's no way we should just keep missing the playoffs with all these high draft picks and good players. Yeah.
I will say this,
We
though.
have so much talent.
I am happy that Okposo's gone. I hope Girgensons is gone.
Yeah.
Apparently, Girgensons is a Pagula favorite, and that's why he keeps. So
right.
hopefully he's gone.
Olafson, Krebs.
You have to start bringing these kids up. These kids that are producing, bring them in. Look, if we bring all these kids up and we regress a little bit, I'm not going to be mad because they're young. Let's get them meshing, and then they have to start to hit. So.
Well, the Krebs thing, he came over with the Jack Eichel trade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was supposed to be like Tuck ended up being the big guy, but I thought Krebs was supposed to be, he was a little bit younger, I think.
Yeah.
And I thought he was supposed to be more the guy.
Yeah, no.
Don't you think they need a slight variation in the lineup, though, with players and their styles or roles?
I do. We don't want guys. Okposo, he's a great dude. He seems like a great dude. He's not, he's old at this point. Girgensons goes 1,000 miles an hour into the boards. Like, it never seems to, nothing. He doesn't make anything happen as far as offensively. What I want to see is us be able to roll like in the 90s, roll 3 solid offensive lines and then have your enforcement
Bruisers.
line. Yep. And we haven't had that. We're lucky to have one line. In that one line, if it doesn't produce, they break them up, you know?
Yeah.
So
You think Skinner stays or goes?
he stays. No one's going to pick up that contract.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
we need a little sandpaper on the team, and we need a little roughness, and
Fourth
we need
liners.
a guy who's going to win face-offs.
Give me some
win
names.
big
Give me some names.
face-offs.
I got a couple names.
John Scott. Let's bring him back.
What about like a Kadri or a Cabranson or what about that? I think his name is Joshua Dakota or Dakota Joshua from Vancouver.
I don't know him.
That kid's throwing hits everywhere. Actually had a dirty hit the other night. I mean,
I want a little dirtiness
yeah,
on this team, yeah.
they don't have any mean guys out there that scare other players.
You know,
Like,
Sean's not here, so I can say this. We needed the guy who's going to go after Lucic when he takes out Miller. You
Yeah.
know, that
Yeah.
still haunts us to this day because I don't know that we've
Yeah.
had anybody, you know?
dude, speaking of the Bruins, I was watching some of the game the other night. Pat Maroon should probably hang up his skates.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Boston's still so good, though.
I know, even with that guy just like moseying around in between the two lines. I'm like, what is this guy doing?
They lost a lot of players, a lot of good players after last year, and
Yeah.
they're still good. What's that like?
Yeah.
You know?
Must be fucking nice. Yeah.
Maybe we'll
I
talk
feel like
about
the
it in a
little,
few years.
I feel like the little kid sitting on the floor talking to the grandfather. Tell us what it was like.
I hate to say this. But the Sabres need Brad Marchand players.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
He's the love to hate player. You know,
Yeah.
He
I
If
plays
he's,
the
if he's on your
game.
team, you love him.
He
Yeah.
plays the game the way you're supposed to play it.
You know who's like that on our team, but nowhere near the Marchand level is Jeff Skinner. Everybody hates playing against Jeff Skinner.
Yeah.
But he doesn't produce the way Marchand does.
Well,
you
and Jeff
know?
Skinner doesn't play defense
Right.
or forecheck or backcheck. All he does is shoot.
You know
He kind
what?
of plays like the Wayne Gretzky type thing, and if you're going to play that way, that's fine. But you have to score like Wayne Gretzky. And what, it's going to have 25 goals, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which isn't-
maybe
with-
30.
Not that that's not a lot of goals, but
All the guys.
goals.
Okay, so here's the other problem. All of those guys had career years last year and big regression this year.
Yeah.
Huge.
Thompson.
All of them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a big concern, is that those guys just aren't good enough. And you also need a guy like a Barnaby type,
Oh, yeah.
or
I was not a fan of Hasek, by the way.
who was the local guy that
Oh,
Coletta.
Coletta, Barnaby or Coletta? You need a guy like that just is kind of a dirt bag and pisses other
Peters.
teams off. Peters, yeah.
yeah.
But you want to have a little bit of skill, I guess.
Well, in
Like
this day and
Barnaby
age, you
was the
have to.
perfect
look at
blend of
Brad
skill
May.
and
I feel like Brad May.
Brad
had a little bit
May,
of
yeah.
skill.
Yeah.
You can't have guys like Rob Ray anymore who are just here to fight.
Yeah.
You know, that you can't do
because
that
you need
anymore.
producers on
Right.
every line.
You gotta have some
However,
talent.
Rob Ray
Yeah.
did score on his first shift, his first shot. You know, he did.
Did he?
Yeah.
Good. Empty netter.
That's amazing.
And then he had like 4 goals the rest of his career.
It's just they have excellent, like, top 9, 6 to 9 good offensive guys, and then
But they don't. That's what I want. You know that's why I said we're rolling guys like. Why is before we traded him? Why was Oposo or I don't think it's the K silent Poso whatever.
Oposo. I don't know.
Why was he on sometimes the first line, sometimes the second line? He never should have been, and that's the problem that I have. But we'll see.
I think Lindy will fix that.
Yeah, I hope so.
The other annoying thing is just how many fucking former Sabres are in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, and some of them I feel good for, and
Sabres
Oposo,
are a stepping stone.
Oposo's one of them. I'm happy he's in the playoffs. The guy's he's never been in his entire career, until now.
Yeah.
And then guys like
Should have traded Skinner to beat his record of most active games played without a
Panthers lineup the other night included
dude. Oh,
Okposo,
Montour.
Reinhardt, who's a stud,
yep.
Rodriguez,
He scored a game
Kulikov,
winner.
and Montour.
Yep.
How many
Kulikov, he
times
was on our team?
did we say that Kulikov can't play in the NHL? Like, that guy was
Who's
just a
he? He was
joke.
on our team.
Yep.
Yeah,
What position was he?
defense.
And then Casey Middlestats in
Colorado.
Yeah.
And hey, but you know what? Guys like Oposo, I'm happy for. Middlestat, I'm happy for too. He when Middlestat left,
He stepped it up. His game was awesome.
well, and he was very gracious and thankful and all that.
Until he had his first sweaty practice.
Yeah, that was funny.
Nothing to do with altitude change.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're just rambling about hockey now, so you've probably lost 3 people, and we've probably just got one left, my wife. And
Hi, Alicia.
Yeah, hey, babe. We do have, if you've been keeping up with the episodes, we do have MJB Electric. Mike and his brother,
Nick,
decided to partner up with us.
Yep.
They are a small outfit, family outfit that do commercial and residential electrical needs. I believe they'll do virtually anything after talking to them the other night.
Yep.
New service. Yeah. Anything, Herb. Anything.
Herb's like, can he come to the tailgate?
Yeah. So, folks, if you're looking for a good electrician in the Amherst, Tonawanda-ish area or even nearby, Mike, how do we get a hold of MJB Electric?
716-465-5017 and tell them you heard it from us.
Yeah, the ZaBillsPodcast team. Folks, thank you for making it to the end, all 5 of you. I think we gained one while we were doing this. Please, I hope you're enjoying the interviews, because Sean, and whoever else joins the interview, I think they're all of us are enjoying it. And it's really neat meeting other people who have moved from Buffalo to where they are now, or
misery loves company is what you're saying.
Yeah. Have we interviewed anyone besides the guy from London? Have we interviewed anybody that wasn't a transplant yet?
Not yet.
I don't think so. I'm waiting to find a non-transplant to find out.
And the London guy might as well be a transplant from London. He's here more games than we are.
Yeah. So those interviews are all brought to us from MJB Electric and Mike and his brother Nick. And, we'll try to keep popping those out. And then, as things are needed, we'll podcast. And thank you for all your support.
And get into the regular role come September.
Yeah, season 2, September. Everyone, go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills. Herb, start catching up on the interviews.
Don't give up hope, folks.
Oh, jeez.
Deep thoughts by Herb.
He's out of booze, I think.
I got more.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
ZaBillsPodcast is a presentation of Kmart Productions, sponsored by MJB Electric and Dudza Chiropractic. Thank you for listening, and if you haven't, please follow, rate, review the show. It helps with the algorithm. ZaBills is executively produced by me, Kyle. Executive sound engineering by yours truly, also me. Fundraising, also by Kyle. All artwork executively produced by Avery and Mark Rochon. What the heck is this? All music and lighting executively produced by Kyle. That's more like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Please drive carefully and arrive home safely. Good night.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.